welcome you to our daily Bible study. I am your host, Dr. Derek A. Reeves, and we have started on the 11th series entitled Positional Law. Today we're going to deal with a continual study, and we're going to move on in a continual study. And today's lesson is entitled Types of Position. And so we're going to move on and dive right into this. The term position can deal with many different things, but we're not talking about the somatic or physiological condition, the places in which your body rests or how it rests, such as crouching, standing, lying down, so forth. But we're going to talk about something that deals with the essential essence or the state of an individual. And so position then can be defined as condition with reference to place. So condition can deal with a set place, a focused point in reality. It can deal with the material or the physical realm. So it can speak of a demographic place. It can deal with what city you're in, what street you're in, what place in the house you're in. So we're talking about the physical positions. It can deal with the reference of a place, a location, but then the second type of position is situational. This type of position deals with experience. What's going on? How are you placed within a scenario of the scheme of what we would call a phenomenon? When we speak of situational can be just about anything. There can be situations caused by emotions, situations caused by the workplace. And so these types of positions could best be called what I call the interactive positions. What are you doing and what's happening with relationships? And so they are more relational than anything, but they can be responding from relationships or phenomena. So you have place, then you have situation. Then you can also talk about location in a place. And so positions can be, again, a place, the location in the place, or the context within an interaction. And so if we continue, situations can deal with circumstances, which can be situations. Situations can extend into unique circumstances. So, again, we have place, we have location in the place, we have situation, which deals with, in many cases, interaction, and then we could have situations that can lead or that can result because of circumstances. Now, let's move on a little further. So when we talk about positions, again, we can deal with a position as far as rank. We can speak of a position as far as office, and we can speak of the position as far as the authority. And so position can deal, again, with both rank. Where are you? What is your rank in the army? Because that will establish what authority you have. So positions can ultimately refer to places of authority. When we speak of positions again, we can speak of dispositions. Dispositions can be the mental position or even an emotive position. It can deal with a place of employment. What is your specific objective or responsibility to a place once you're there? And then it can deal with the posture or the attitude. And so positions then can be interactive. You are put in a position where you must now make a decision concerning people because of their interactions. It can be with what is the specific point of entry, specific point of operation, so it can deal with the demographic point as well as a point in a city, a point in a building. It can deal with, again, circumstances. What are the events that are now causing specific processes to take place that you are now forced to operate in or that you decide to operate in? It can deal with the emotive stance. What is your position, or what do you feel concerning specific laws, specific events, specific things when people break laws and perhaps other people get hurt as a result of it? Then the mental position. The mental position deals with perspective. The perspective. How do you understand a thing? How do you see a specific thing? As we talked about on yesterday's lesson, that mental perspectives are very, very comprehensive, and they can be all over the place. And so a mental perspective is only as genuine and true as the foundational perspective that allows you to see the intent, the objectives, and the reason or purpose for the entire scenario. And so even when we speak of perspectivism, perspectives must be understood on the foundation of the archetype or the beginning type of the conversation. What was the conversation concerning? What was the teaching concerning? In many cases, students, they take their perspective and they run away with it, and that's because they come knowing. And there is an old saying that knowing can be the destructor of knowledge. Sometimes because of what we know, we shut down and we lose sight of extended knowledge on principles that we may not have understood. Or we lose the sighting on principles that may have been attached to what we know, but may have extended into the further reaches. And so it's very important to understand position from the mental point of view, because it brings clarity and it opens up the purview of our sighting so we can understand to a greater degree. Knowing and knowledge shuts down, so we basically will close the door to learning more knowledge, extended knowledge, a different type of knowledge, or a greater comprehension of what we already know. And so postures, positions, how we think about something, what is our perspective? Where are we within the scheme of the activities of what's going on? Do we fully understand our position? Do we fully understand the position that's being presented, or the position that God is presenting? And so in many cases, because we don't understand positional law, we don't understand the requirements of standing in a position, the requirements of holding an office, the requirements of operating within a specific purview. We don't understand why we're in the building. What is the objective to being in the office that you're in? And I'm talking about the demographic office. So positions then can give us insight on functionality. It can give us insight on attachments and relationships. It can give us insights on the declination or the delineation of authority and power. It can give us understanding and comprehensive knowledge concerning emotive states. What do you feel about something? And so it ties in ethical behavior. It ties in ethical standards. And then it can bring to you perspectivism. Always remember, perspective can be broad, it can be narrow. But true perspectivism allows you to see things as they were formed, as they were founded, the essential elements of it. And part of this in what we call communication would be resolved if individuals would, instead of bringing their perspective to the table, and I understand when you are asked a question, then you bring your perspective. But when rules and foundations and laws and processes are set into motion, you must go back to the original perspective of the objective and the purpose for the formation of a group, of a council, of a church, of even a ministry, of a household, of a job. Those then become the foundational, essential operating principles when we understand position. I'm sorry I am out of time, but I thank you for joining us. This is our daily Bible study, and I am your host, Dr. Derek A. Reeves. Until next time.